One could be forgiven for assuming that in the Horton family, a career in teaching was part of a long-standing family tradition. After all, for many, the very Horton name was synonymous with public education on the island in the 70s and 80s. Yes, growing up, Randy, Ellen Kate, and Robert Horton all had dreams and aspirations, but believe it or not, teaching was not one of them.
During my Berkeley years, I had no plan to be a teacher. I had wanted to be, would you believe, an Anglican priest or a lawyer.
Ellen Kate, meantime, who was doing her master's in physical chemistry at Kent University, fully expected to be working in a science lab one day. And for Randy, who had set his sights on becoming a mortician, teaching was out of the question.
I never, in fact, ever thought that I would be a teacher because, having done what I did at Berkeley to teachers who were at Berkeley and the way that I behaved at Berkeley, there was no way that I was going to be a teacher and deal with children who behaved like me.
The universe, it seems, had other plans in store for the Horton siblings. And thousands of Berkeleyites and Warwick Secondary students have a series of unlikely twists of fate to thank for it. In the early 70s, as destiny would have it, they each found themselves teaching in public school. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Something extraordinary happened. I loved teaching. I was there to remain for 18 years. And I often say those were the most fulfilling years of my professional life. I loved it.
Once you get involved, those children grab you. And I loved each and every one of my students. They didn't always love me, but today, most of them are fine.
But no one was more surprised about their career path than their own parents.
Our father would have been pleased. I think our mum would have been surprised. Perhaps not with respect to Ellen Kate and Randy. I wasn't,
He's being very modest.
the best behaved of the Horton children.
At Warwick Secondary School, Randy taught economics, Black history, and PE, and Ellen Kate mathematics and chemistry, before becoming principal and acting deputy principal, respectively. Robert, on the other hand, taught English literature at the Berkeley Institute, where he became deputy principal at the tender age of 28. One thing they had in common? That unmistakable Horton style.
No nonsense. No nonsense. The interesting thing, if the children heard the word Horton, Hortons call me, they didn't care which one. They would just scatter.
I was arguably very, very strict, a disciplinarian, but I hope that the students all recognize that the underpinning of that authoritarian or strict disciplinarian was a deep affection, a deep love for them, and the wish for them to succeed in all of their endeavors.
It was about tough love.
Yes.
Tough love. We love those kids, but in order to provide them with the love, you sometimes had to be tough.
And after decades of service to Bermuda's public education, perhaps it's the love behind the tough that is one of the greatest legacies the Horton family leaves with us now that they have retired from teaching.
Every time I read about the success of a Berkeleyite, particularly one who was at the Berkeley when I was there, I am overjoyed. I feel very, very proud. So I would say the corporate success of my former students, that makes me very, very happy.
Julie Matthews-Borchard for Bermuda Broadcasting News.